SNAB, where we aim to make A-level biology as simple as a cell. So today we're understanding how natural selection can lead to adaptation and evolution. So natural selection is the process by which individuals with advantageous heritable characteristics are more likely to survive and reproduce, passing on these traits to the next generation. Over many generations, this leads to changes in allele frequencies within a population. And natural selection can only occur if there is variation within a population. So variation arises due to mutation, as this creates new alleles. Meiosis, so independent assortment and crossing over, lead to variation, and sexual reproduction, which leads to random fertilization. So these are the three different reasons why variation can arise. So the steps of natural selection are overproduction of offspring. So more offspring are produced than can survive, and this leads to competition for resources. So variation, so step 2 is variation within the population. So individuals differ due to genetic variation. So some differences affect their chance of survival and reproduction. And then you have step 3, which is selection pressure. So environmental factors such as predators, climate, and disease act as selection pressures. So the individuals with advantageous characteristics are more likely to survive and reproduce. And then 4, you have differential survival and reproduction. So individuals with the advantageous alleles survive longer and reproduce more successfully. So they pass on these alleles to offspring. And then finally, you have the change in allele frequency. So over many generations, these advantageous alleles become more common, and this leads to adaptation of that population. So we've been through this before, so we're going through it again. So adaptation is the heritable characteristic that increases the organism's ability to survive and reproduce in a particular environment. And adaptations can arise as a result of natural selection. And they can be behavioral, physiological, and anatomical. And a more detailed video on adaptations should be already out, so do check it out if you need a quick revision. So evolution is the change in allele frequencies in a population over time. And natural selection is a mechanism of evolution. And evolution occurs at the population level, not in individuals. So, because it looks at the change in allele frequency in a population. It's not a case like of species. So it's not an individual organism to organism basis. So one really good example of evolution we can look at, we've been through this before and we're also quite familiar, is antibiotic resistance we've observed in bacteria. So random mutations produce bacteria with antibiotic resistance. So antibiotics is the selection pressure in this case. So the resistant bacteria, they survive and reproduce, and over time the population becomes predominantly resistant. So this is an example of natural selection which leads to adaptation and evolution of that bacteria species. So that is all from Professor SNAB today. Hope you found this video useful. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below and I'll get back to them as soon as possible. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.